We have 3 albums filled with silver dimes, some very valuable. If you love dimes, keep watching. Hey collectors, thanks for watching. I'm the Collector of Coins, and if you've been following along this series, you know that I purchased a massive coin collection and we've been going through it coin by coin. We're featuring dimes and we're going to look at 3 different albums. This is not a complete set, but there are a lot of valuable dimes in here. We're going to take a look at these. I'll put them into 2x2 flips, grade them, look at the values. This, however, is almost a complete set. It's missing the key date 1916D, but it has everything else. Maybe overloaded. Sometimes this collector put multiple coins in each slot. We even have, pull this over here, a little bonus album with other dimes that she had. And then the Roosevelt Dimes, which, frankly, I'm just going to pull out the silver. There aren't any key dates, nothing really significantly of value. This tends to be silver melt, but we'll tally up the value there as well. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, share this with a friend, and relax. We're going to get right into this. When I say relax, I mean please relax. So that you enjoy this video, we're going to get right into things with the Barber Dimes first. Well, as we look at this first page, I can tell that most of these are going to be in either AG, almost good, or in good condition, which is not surprising. These coins were the workhorse of the American economy. They went through circulation a lot. They stayed in circulation a long time, and they were used heavily. 3 1/3 million is not a large number, considering you're looking at 10 million and so on, 16 million, 19 million, 21 million. But there are some better dates in here. We're going to start with this first page. I'll bring you back in to look at anything of significant value. Well, we're not off to a great start because I'm having trouble getting the plastic inserts out. I think this album hasn't been touched in a very long time. The struggle is real. Well, with a little bit of patience and some tweezers, we were able to carefully slide these out. And as we look at these dimes, as we get this in focus, there's some pretty wild toning. And yes, there is some tarnish. Silver tarnishes with age. These do not look like they've ever been cleaned. I like the gold toning on it from the tan album. All right, we'll get these flipped out and organized. I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, well, this first page, a lot of the coins were frankly in AG condition, worth about $4 to $5 each. The ones that were in good condition were generally worth about $5 to $6 each. The nicest one was this G6, good 6, it's the nicest shape. That's worth $9. All in all, maybe we're looking at about $45 to $50 worth on the first page. Not bad. I do know that the Barber Dimes in this album get better in quality as we move closer to the end of the series. So I'll pull you back in for the next page and then we'll keep going. All right, well, we got the top half out. This is really stuck. I'm having no luck. So we'll go through these and I'll get back to that in a second. There's some pretty nice dates and there were a couple of duplicates overloaded in this one. I'll pull you back in as soon as I get that organized. Okay, collectors, well, we have a nice Barber Dime that is in fine condition. Letters of Liberty are visible but worn. This coin is from 1905, minted in San Francisco, but as you can tell, there was some harsh cleaning on it, unfortunately. Well, given the condition and the cleaning, we're going to say this is worth about $10. Still a nice example. I wanted you to see this one. You can see some letters of Liberty, but not all, making this coin in very good condition. The collectors, most of the coins on that page were worth $5 and $6. We have 2 outliers, one worth 8, one worth 10. This is a better date. San Francisco Mint, 1902S, 2 million minted, just in AG condition, but still worth $8. And then we have another one from San Francisco, much better condition, fine details, worth $10. Again, the rest of these are around $5 or $6 a piece, maybe 1 or 2 that were worth $8, but on average, not very expensive coins, but great for albums. All right, we're gonna keep going. I'll bring it back in for the next page. All right, well, here's the last page, and the Barber Dime goes all the way through 1916, and the 1916 is the first year of the Mercury Dime, so they overlap. And then we have a whole bunch of fillers, which is why I'm assuming I don't have overloaded pages. So I'm just gonna pull out the 1911 to 1916 first, get those flipped up. I'll bring you in to see the grades and the value, and then we'll wrap up with these. Again, I don't know what's in here. It looks like more common dates, but I do see a Denver mint, which tends to be a lower mintage typically. So, all right, hang on. So most of these are in the same condition as we've seen before, with a few in better shape, like these two that are in fine. And this 1916, which is in extremely fine condition, it's got just the full Liberty, very strong. A lot of details still remain, especially on the reverse. Really nice looking Barber Dime. I'm gonna go look up the values and I'll bring you right back. All right, that batch of coins generally is worth about $4 to $5 each. These are the outliers, mainly due to the condition. This 1914S is worth $10. And this is the most valuable coin from the album because it's in extremely fine condition. It's worth $45. All right, well, we got a few extras in that album, as you saw. I'm gonna pull them out. If there's anything that's $10 or more in value, I'll show you. Otherwise, we're gonna move on to the Mercury Dimes. But fingers crossed that there's something left in that album worth at least $10. Okay, I'm gonna quickly go through this album because there may be only one or two or three coins that have maybe some nominal value over melt. So I'm gonna take a look. These are all very toned and dirty, which they should be. I'm glad these don't look cleaned. I'm also gonna see if I need any of these for my album. So again, unless they're worth $10 or more, I won't bring you back in. I know that the Elder album has some very valuable dimes, so I hope you keep watching. And if you haven't liked this video yet, please give it a thumbs up. All right, well, the better date dimes here in the condition that they're in are worth about $2 to $4 each. So I'm just gonna fill up gaps in my album, and then the others I'm just gonna sell as silver melt. So we'll dig into the other album in a minute. All right, well, we're going into the big Mercury Dime album. Now, the most valuable Mercury Dime is this 1916D, which is missing, unfortunately, from the album. 264,000 minted. Otherwise, I guess if in terms of value, we're gonna look at the low mintage ones. This 1921 and 21D would be the most valuable, then the 1926S, I believe. So I'm gonna look them up. I'm actually thinking just leaving this album intact and selling it intact. Someone may be interested in picking this up. I will pull out the extras though. Yeah, all right, let me look up the value on the 21 and 21D and the 21S, I'll be right back. All right, well, this is worth $50. This is worth $60. They're both in good condition. This one's worth about $11 or $12. And then pretty much everything else in here, I believe, is worth melt. I mean, that might be a little bit of a premium given the relatively low mintage. Same thing with this. But in the condition that they're in, probably $15 coins would be my guess. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So this is valuable to someone who's looking to put together a collection and or wants a nice set like this. So I'll pull these silver ones out and then I'll leave this intact. But I would say this album is probably worth about $300 or $400 would be my guess. And that might be on the high end. Actually, we got overloaded coins once again. So I'm gonna have to go through this. In fact, these that I just pulled out were overloaded. So I only want to sell this with one coin in each slot. I don't want to misprice this. So let me pull those out. I'll be right back. Well, just in that one page alone, we got a number of duplicates such that I'm able to fill in another space in my album and keep that other album complete, almost complete. Pretty nice. All right, more dupes on that page, and I was able to fill another space. Well, duplicates from that album are allowing me to fill up more spaces in my album, which might mean I have nearly a complete set like the one I'm going to try to sell. I'll fix that off camera. Well, got it, but yikes. So in the overloaded pages,
We got another 1921 out of Philadelphia. That's a key date. And we also have a 1938 out of Denver, semi-key date. Sorry, 28? Is that a 28? Maybe I read that wrong. Oh, I did. That's not a key date. Imposter. And just a reminder, it's worth $54. It's nice that we got two of them. All right, we're still going through for duplicates, but we've pulled out quite a number, and we've already put a few in my own album. Well, we're looking at a duplicate 1916 from Philadelphia. It is an AU condition. There is wear on the high points, but this, if it was uncirculated, where that wear on that band wasn't evident, this could have been a full bands. This is still a beautiful, lustrous tone coin. Let me look up the value. AU 53, I think. Yeah, worth about $20. All right, let me get this in a flip, and then we'll count up all the dupes that I just pulled out of that album. I consider these bonus. All right, 23 extra silver dimes in that Mercury album, not including the few duplicates that I used to fill in space in my album. I think we might actually have a full roll between some of the duplicate barbers that were a bit junky and the dupes that were not overstuffed. Let me pull them all out and count. I'll let you know how many we got before we move on to the Roosevelt Dimes. All right, well, we ended up with 54 silver dimes, not including the Roosevelt Dime album I'm going to go through. These two Rosies were in the Mercury Dime album for some reason. You know, it's a slightly better date, but they're not really worth anything in that condition beyond the silver melt. So, all right, so I'm going to put these 50 in a bag, and I'll start a second bag, and I'll sell this for a little more than silver melt at a coin show. All right, and here we go. Roosevelt Dime album. Yep, and overstuffed as well. So let me get these all out. We even have a few that are not silver that I think they'll just put them back into circulation. I don't think they are uncirculated. Probably AU at best, but all right. Let me pull these out. I'll count them up and bring you back in. Ooh, anything that's uncirculated with nice toning, I might put in a flip for another collector. All right, I got this back page out, and there were a lot of dimes, and some of them are absolutely gorgeous and uncirculated. So I might flip those up. Anything that is AU or lower, I'm not going to flip up because they're not going to command much of a premium, but some of these here are just stunning. All right, well, we had two clad dimes in there, so I pulled those out. And as beautiful as these are, they're not uncirculated. We have wear on the high points on the reverse. I believe these are at best AU. Now, because they do have some interesting toning, I might flip one or two of these up that exhibit some more interesting characteristics that I think maybe a collector would go for. Probably these two have the most interesting toning on them. The rest, I'm just gonna sell it at melt value. Even still, these are maybe worth $2 to $3 as opposed to the, at the time right now, around $1.25, $1.50 in terms of melt value. And again, depending upon when you watch this, silver may be lower, and therefore these may be worth a little less or a little more if it goes higher. Well, collectors, this is the rest of the album. We ended up with 121 silver dimes in total that will be sold at melt. We have almost a complete collection of Mercury Dimes minus the 1916D, which will sell intact, and the rest are flipped up. We're probably looking at maybe about $400 or $500 worth of better date dimes or scarcer date dimes. You know, the barbers are hard to find. It can be, at least, particularly if you're trying to do a complete set. All right, well, with that, collectors, thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.